Hello, 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 hello. Welcome to Lights Down Low. I am Laila and
Hi everybody, this is Razmai once again.
you can lift up your mic. Yeah. It's looking at you struggling. Just like lift it up. You know, we're in a in a facility that's I don't know where I'm going with that. Like 1 minute. That's technically created well. I don't know what you know, if you can think of a word that has to do with like that is technically efficient or whatever. Anyways, so it's been a while. It's been like 3 weeks, and I deeply would like to apologize for that. You know, there was electioneering stuff happening that made it difficult to do the show, and you know, just life. And I think we can give grace because we understand that sometimes life be hard. But I'm so excited to be back. I'm so excited to have Raz in the studio, who technically now should just be my co-host. Like when I was like, I want to do this show, and then I was like, Raz, can you just be my co-host? And she's like, I don't know, Laila, but like, look at her.
We love it now.
Yeah. Just like, you should just technically be my co-host. Yeah. And then we can say Lights Down Low by Laila and Raz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the sound of that.
You like the sound of that? You see? I had a vision.
And here we are, thank God.
And here we are. And I love it. Yeah. So yeah, you know, we're also 22 minutes late. My apologies for that. But I really can't wait to talk about today's topic, which has to do with our best sexual experiences. This is a sex podcast at the end of the day. So I think it only makes sense to talk about what good sex is and our best sexual experiences. So are you thinking like top 3, top 4, top 1, top 2?
There's so many different experiences. They could be good, they could be bad.
Yeah.
So we could start off with the good ones.
We start with the good ones.
Shut it down with, you know, the worst of the worst.
No, we're going to do a different episode for that. Yeah. Today's episode is primarily just like what makes sex good and what like our good sexual experiences have been.
Oh yeah.
And I'm trying to like have you like paint a picture.
Which I'm good at.
I'm trying to be like in the bedroom with you.
Oh my God. So we're going right in.
We're going right in. Okay, first of all, actually, yeah. So
you can start us off. Tell me.
Okay, so I'll be quite honest in the sense where, so as I've said before, that my first sexual experience, was with a guy that I was dating. So he was like the only person that I was sleeping with for quite a while. But then, you know, we broke up, blah, blah, blah. And I would say that like the best sexual experiences that I've had have definitely like been in the last 3 years. And I don't know if it's because like I'm understanding my body better or I'm just finding people who are better at sex. Like, I don't know which one of them it is.
Sometimes they say as you grow, it gets better.
Yeah. Possibly.
Or maybe the people too changed. You never know.
Yeah. Do you ever hear that thing about how like women have like their best sex and like as they get older?
Mostly they say in your late 20s or mid 20s. That's when
no, it's usually better. 30s.
Okay.
So I'm so excited
because the person I was when I was in my 21 or 20 years old, the sex was bad. So I feel like it gets better even with yourself.
Yeah, as a person. But yeah, I so I'll give one experience and then you give your other experience. So there's this guy that unfortunately enough we don't talk anymore, but I also got the ick that really had to do with just like the last time we talked they'd gotten into like a random ass altercation with their brother's younger friend. Like, so the brother is younger than them and they'd gotten into an altercation with like the brother's friend. And I was like, sir, like you can't be fighting over a woman with like someone who's younger than you. Like that's it's embarrassing. Like what are you doing? So I got the X. I was just kind of like okay, but so good like in the bedroom. So I can't actually rank it between 1, 2, 3, 4, but I do know I have like maybe like four or five experiences where I'm just like these are like really good. And yes, I have a lot of sex, so I can have like a top 5.
So wait, this one is the best of the best that you've ever had?
No, I don't think I can put a best of the best.
Okay.
In the sense where they were all different. So even when I'm gonna describe the different ones, they were all like they were good because of different aspects. So like his was really good because he was like very into like, you know, having baby oil on standby and like giving me a massage. But like he gave like, you know, like the massage thing is a trap, but not every man can pull it off. Like, you know, because you see those memes online where it's like, oh yeah, give me a massage, babe. And then it turns into like, you know, a dick inside you. But he did a good job. Like he would like start off the massage like very like sensually and slowly, and then obviously, you know, you go down the back and there's a lot of focus on like the ass, and then you're like maybe there's a hand, you know, on your like clit, but then it moves. So he was like very teasing about the way that he would do it. So I was
How
just
old
like,
was this guy?
So he was maybe 2 years older than me.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, possibly I think he's around 2 years older. So his younger brother and I were in the same school. And he would like come to pick him up like, you know, once in a while, and then we would like chat, blah blah blah. But last year is when we like, you know, actually got the chatting went to like, oh hi, intimacy, we're gonna do this. But it was like casual, like you weren't like dating or whatever. And no, his massage thing was really good. And I remember like the first time we had sex and why it was like so hot is like, I don't like being slapped, but there's a way, but there's exceptions to that where like he wouldn't like slap me, but he would like hit my face. It'd be like focus. Like whenever I was about to come, he'd slap my face and be like, focus. And I'd be like, whoa, okay, I'm focused. But then it was like he was edging me on, but like there was just like this idea of like dominance and just like you're gonna come and when I tell you to, that wasn't said very like directly. It was just like he'd slap my face when he saw I was about to come, and then he'd be like, focus. And I'd be like, oh, okay, I'm focusing. And then now I'm not coming anymore. So yeah, it's like, you know, it's pretty good.
Dude, that's sexy.
Yeah.
He was probably into those, you know. But that sounds really sexy, by the way.
Yeah.
Coming from you saying you don't like slapping. I mean,
I know there's a way you could slap someone that is not like, what are you doing?
You slapped. Look at me. Who's your daddy? Not that one.
Which can be so cringe depending on the person it's coming from. That's the problem as well.
Yeah.
No, you have to say one of yours.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So just like you, I don't have a best. Like I can't rate this is the best one, this is the worst one. I mean, in terms of being best. But I would say right now I'm having one of the best sex.
Ooh.
And it's with a friend.
Nice. Nice.
It's like this thing just started off like friendship, just going out together, dinners and stuff like that, until it got down to business. So this was about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
It just started 2 weeks ago, and it feels like I've been having sex for a whole month every day.
That sounds amazing, because it just means like you guys have, you know, what you like.
We build it up. We build up to it. And I was on vacation with him. That's when everything just became beautiful.
Yeah.
So like this guy would, first of all, he knows how to turn me on. He's just like, randomly you'd be sitting, he just starts massaging you. And that's like my kryptonite. Like, just touch me. So just touch me nicely.
Yeah.
You know, it gets all the juices flowing and it gets my body ready for, you know.
Yeah.
I should just say sex.
You know how sticky it gets.
So recently it's been great. He starts off with massage, like that's how I like it.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden it'll be like oil you up, of course, definitely oil you
Yeah.
up. And then
That's why I say the baby oil.
it's in every corner.
Yeah.
So and then he has a way of making love and fucking at the same time, which is super sexy. If you can have both at the same time.
Tell me,
And it's
so
like-
when you say making love and fucking at the same time, I'd like you to.
Okay, in
break
my
it down.
oh my
Yeah,
god,
yeah,
I keep forgetting this. Yeah, according to me,
Yeah.
when you're just passionately having sex,
Yeah.
slowly, concentrating on the girl, you start off with a head. From the massage, you usually go to a head, and I never seem to ask for it. Like it just happens, which you shouldn't ask, of course. But
yeah, in general, yeah.
90% of the time, it feels like it's about me. It's not even about him, which I really like.
Yeah.
So sometimes you throw in that, I'll give you a head. Not that you have
Throw
to.
it- Throw it in is just like here's a little bit, yeah.
He's like, no,
It's
it's
some
about
a
you.
gift, yeah.
Like it's about you.
Yeah.
Just chill. I'm like, okay. So he would go down on me, and then he'll just have sex slowly and just passionately, and then all of a sudden, woof, turn around, girl. And that's how I like it. Like just start off slowly, and then we go shebang all the way in.
So it's kind of like, are you saying like you like, when it's like fast and then slow and then fast and then slow?
Yeah, and he knows how to do it, like up to the letter without even me saying it,
Yeah.
And he's a bit older. He's, I would say, about 7 years older than me.
Yeah.
Which is something I'm experimenting now.
Oh, is this actually the oldest person that you would say you've been with?
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
So,
but also, let me just say, age is not like a factor in how good or bad someone is, because I've been with people who are older, and I'm just like, you've had so many more years to be better at this than you currently are. It's like, why am I going through this?
So, sorry. So, what was I saying? I even got lost. I'm
So
still
no, you're saying
reminiscing.
he's 7
Oh my
years
God.
older. Them flashbacks are
Very
hitting.
soon, girl. So so I'm in this island and I'm with this guy, and it's sex every day. Like I've never had so much stamina. Like I've never had so much strength for sex and so much. Let me just say, I've never been this horny in my life. So it's been 2 weeks of up and down in an island, and everything has just been so beautiful. And then now that I think about it, I'm like, it's always been wham bam most of the times.
Yeah.
And it's just like drunk sex or high sex, even with somebody that I'm dating.
Yeah.
And this is a bit different. And I've been sober through it all.
Yeah.
For the whole 2 weeks. I mean, you don't need drugs to have sex, but you know what I mean. When you're
I understand
cautious
where
and
you're
you're not
coming from.
high
Yeah.
or you're not drunk, you feel it in a different way. So for me, because the other person does not partake in anything, I was trying to experiment as well and see, like, maybe this is the kind of sex I deserve. Not the kind of sex I get out there, Which is slightly different, but this is really good. I'm yet to, like, I would have more to say about this guy.
Do you
in time.
just to sort of explore do you feel like when you're having the sex and you're sober, because you said it's different, so is it different in the sense where you feel like you're more engaged, you're more aware of what you like, what you don't like, just sort of give me an idea
In
of
difference
what you mean.
in the sense that I've never like come through sober sex with any other guy apart from this one. That's the first thing I've noticed, actually. It's like this guy can make me come 3-4 times a day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Without the nudge of, the puff ganja. So like I'm also used to that, and for me that's the whole difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I say this is kind of like very good.
Yeah, it's probably why you're horny. You're so horny.
Oh, I've never been horny like this.
Yes, because it's good, You're just like, ooh, when am I getting like my fix? The next one.
But I've had a couple of good sex, but it's mostly, come to think about it, again, it's like I'm always on weed or I'm always drinking, and that high sex is just kind of like in a different level.
Yeah.
It's good, but it doesn't top this one.
Yeah,
So
that makes sense.
Yeah. I like somebody who understands my body, and
which is so important. And the fact that you've gotten to that place in 2 weeks is
in 2 weeks,
amazing.
that's very impressive. Yeah.
Like, wow. I don't know. Yeah, like sex is so interesting. Yeah, because I've talked about like, oh, there's this one person who like would, give me the whole massage thing and the whole like slapping thing. But then I've also had like some really amazing sex where I could say, I was like, I'm, in love with this person, and there's something that is kind of different when you're having sex with someone that you're in love with, and like, mid-stroke is just like, oh, I love you so much, or like, no, that feels very intimate and heartwarming. Like there's a layer of vulnerability that it touches on really well. But this specific person is, so my thing is like, good girl. Like, oh my God. Call me a good girl when we're in bed and waterworks.
Oh.
I'll be quite honest. That's definitely my fetish, where I'm just like, yeah, like, tell me like what a good girl I am, or just call me a good girl. So with this, like, this person, it's kind of like that combination where it was like, yes, like I'm in love and you love me and you'll tell me how much you love me, but you'll also tell me what a good girl I'm being at the moment, and you're just there like, yeah, like, you're writing it like such a champ, like such a good girl. And I'm just like, yeah,
Okay,
like,
good girl.
words of affirmation. Yeah, like, yeah, like, tell me what a good girl I am. And then there's also like that sort of like, some people are into and not, where like there's that like sort of, call me daddy dynamic.
Oh,
that,
yeah.
like, that like feeds into it. So it's just like, which is not like there's like okay, so I'm gonna like, there's like the daddy dynamic but some people usually have like, like daddy and then little girl fetish, which is weird. I think that's weird. We should definitely have a conversation.
We're talking about role playing.
Yeah, no, but there's like a daddy little girl one, which I think is very weird.
Yeah.
And I think,
yes, daddy, you go, like something like that.
No. So I would say like, I like the whole daddy dynamic where I'm just like, yeah, like, who's your daddy? But it's like in a, like in a boss man, like.
Not the creepy way, you mean?
Not the creepy, yeah.
Because the dominance way.
No, like the dominance way, but I'm saying like there's some like there's a certain like fetish type where it's like daddy but like little girl. So where like the like the chick who is involved in it, the role play version of it is like you're a child, which I think is really weird. So when I say like,
well, that's a pedal right there.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying, that there's categories of like, I want dominance and I want to be like, yeah, like, who's your daddy? But then there's some people where that one, like, who are into it, like to be like small girls. We're just like, yeah, like a little girl. Okay, this is just showing that I engage with porn. Because I'm just like, it's like a type of porn where I'm just like, that's weird. It's like, why is this a thing? And I definitely think like we need to shame more kinks. Like we need to bring shame back, and some kinks should be shamed.
I feel like people are so open out there right now. It's good to express yourself. It's okay.
Yeah, I agree. Not to the extent where you're like,
okay, not to that pedo
like
type of vibes. No.
A small child. And
no,
like the daddy like dynamic is now like weird because you made it like, oh, I'm a child.
Well, there's so much crazy fetishes going on out there right now. Like I'm sure you've seen this videos on, is it Snapchat or Instagram, where there's this girl who's like, it's a whole story about a girl who dresses up like a child.
That's what I'm saying. It? Yeah, I'm talking about that weird, that like the daddy little girl thing. So when I was saying, oh, I like someone's like, who's your daddy? I mean it in like a like, like who's the man? Like who's the, like in a different sort of way. I don't need to be mistaken to the, oh, you're a small child and I'm your daddy.
Yeah, people take it to extremes, yeah.
Yeah, no, I always find like those videos so weird. Like the one where there's like you're talking in like a baby voice and you're dressed up.
You're in a crib. You're being given milk through baby feeder or whatever. Like, it's so fucked up and it's twisted. And these people are so okay. You can find two couples who are married and the lady's acting like that and the guy is like so normal. And you question yourself, what do they do in bed? Like, does he fuck in those onesies she's wearing with her pacifier in the mouth? I'm like, come on.
Oh, it's so weird.
It's so twisted.
I'm like, do you want to have sex with like a toddler? That's weird.
No, but people do it for attention sometimes.
You think
Unless
so?
you're sick in the head.
No, I feel like it's an actual fetish though.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't even think it's attention. I feel like it's like an actual like.
Well, then that's fucked up.
Yeah, it is. That's what I'm saying. Bring shame back. You need to normalize shaming people. But yeah. So, anyways, this person, definitely like the whole like love and it's very intimate and just there's that idea of intimacy, but there's that idea of like kink where it's just like, oh, you're such a good girl, you're doing such a good job. Where I'm like, yeah, like give me these affirmations, elsewhere like in the bedroom where I'm just like, yeah, like tell me that I'm writing it well, so that would, I think now, from like, so there's the massage one. None of these are in order, obviously. And then I have like this whole like, yeah, like the, who's your daddy? And like, you're a good girl and you're doing such a good job.
At least you like voice. People don't like talking during sex. I've met people who just don't like it. I'm like, yes, daddy. Like, you make it sound so sexy, but this guy's just like quiet the whole time. But I love it when somebody screams my name. It's like, yes, Raz. Yeah.
Like, I'm just saying about how it would be like to have sex and like the other person is completely quiet. I would feel awkward.
It hasn't happened to you?
I'm thinking back.
Oh my God, it happened so many times. It's just like, what's happening? Are we doing something or we're not doing something? I'm busy there screaming at the top of my lungs and making all the right noises.
But when you say like, will they moan at least?
No, they will not even respond. Like literally nothing. Someone's just there. You're like, is nothing happening? You start questioning yourself. You're like, am I the only one enjoying this? I mean, I prefer when men actually express how they're feeling. You can moan, you can just do whatever, But those who are quiet, mostly I feel like they also use the body to express. Like he'll pull your hair, he'll be like spanking you and shit.
But that goes so much better if you're like telling me.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're like talk me through a nut. Yeah, like talk me to my orgasm. Like that's important. Oh my God, quiet. I think I'd stop. Like I'd be so like weirded out that I think I'd probably just like stop having sex. Like I just stop.
You'd be like you're the only one making noise. You'd be like, let me just shut up. This is getting awkward now.
Yeah, but also just like in general, I'd stop because I'm like, is this a hostage situation? I feel like it's a hostage situation where like I'm having them hostage, and I'm just like, you're not gonna say anything. Like you're hard, but you're quiet.
We should invite next time a guy to just understand what goes on through their mind.
Yeah.
When
do you think
quiet.
they feel like emasculated?
Like, I wouldn't know, to be honest.
So I'm trying to figure it out. I'm just
how
like,
though?
This
like
is us giving noise.
Like, we're acknowledging what
like
you're doing, so you should also like feel like you use the daddy.
Yeah. But I don't should be like I'm the man. Like this is not a job. Yeah. No. Oh my God. Yeah. No. I mean. Actually, I do have a friend who also says that they're usually quiet in bed. So I'm definitely after this going to message them and ask them why they don't make any sound, because
we need to tap into that brain and see what goes on in there.
I want to know why.
Me too.
Because it's but also usually when I'm having sex, so I'll be like really vocal, and then there's points where like I'm quiet. But I'm quiet because it's just like, it's intense. Yeah. So it's just like I can't even like vocalize how I'm feeling right now. It's just like, where? The strokes are really hitting. I'm just like, I can just whimper at that point where I'm just like, oh, it's so deep and intense. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I definitely know like these points where like I'm very vocal, and then there's points when I get quiet. in the act where it's just like I'm quiet because of like how intense it is. Like I'm fully lost in like the pleasure of it. So yeah, but you need to give me your other like. So we've talked about the recent person.
Yeah.
So what's another like best sexual experience, and why was it good?
A good, a mildly. Let me. Hey, what? I have to think. God damn. So usually when I have a sex partner and maybe we stop having sex, I usually take long breaks in between just to, clear your system of the bullshit, according to me.
Okay, so you're clearing your system of the person and their personality as opposed to...
And the whole aura and everything.
Yeah.
So let me check. Oh, yeah.
Ooh, you just remember like...
The closest one also was with one of my exes. Yeah, we just like we broke. It's the first ex. You remember the one who almost, the one with the with the story. I don't know if you remember the one that I had an accident with the first time.
Oh yeah.
So he came back about last year back into my life, and this time he was a grown man. Back then we were just young people, and I was like a whole man. So this guy also like came back with good game. Like it wasn't like before. Because of the sex we were having.
Yeah, it's been years. He's been learning.
So I feel like he came back to prove something. So the sex was really good.
Personally, I'm a fan. I'm a fan. Come back and prove yourself. I'm a big fan of that, actually.
Yeah, come and praise your name or whatever it is. So I have things that I like. Yep. I can have sex and just pretend that I'm enjoying it and just fake moan, which is really not good. I'm trying to change as a human being.
Because I said everyone suffers.
Yeah, you said stop faking orgasms.
Yeah, stop faking orgasms. Everyone suffers.
Yeah, but we're working through it. Sometimes we just do it just not to like, hurt the guy or make them feel any like.
You're doing
it
a bad
happens
job.
sometimes.
Sorry.
Sometimes
like,
no. I'm not that person. So sometimes I just play along. But so now this like I was telling you, sorry, I'm getting lost. I have a few things that I actually like ticks me, like always like just massage me or be gentle with my body, just touch me. Just don't jump into it right on, because I need to be stimulated mentally and physically, and it just happens. It has to be through my body.
Yeah.
And then I always like being spanked. Okay, of course, I feel like everybody does. Just, let's start off nicely, but don't hold back, daddy. Whip me up. I've been a bad girl. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Is this okay. So, spank me, punish me, but it's also kind of like in a sexy way,
Yeah, of course.
Choke me, like just pull my hair, and those are the kind of things that just makes me have a good experience. And dude, I would come like 3-4 times.
And it's really good to know as well, like what you like, as a person. Yeah.
But it's better when you don't have to tell it to the guy. It just happens to, he knows. That comes with a plus. So,
but then also, so I agree, but also think about how, obviously if you look at porn right now, and you see like there's a lot of like choking and spanking, and you might assume that everyone is into it, which might not be the case.
Yeah.
So as much as it's like, I want you to just know, it's also just like, I want us to have had a conversation, maybe where it was hinted at, and you were like, yeah, like this is a thing. Like they like this. So you don't come in and you just assume I like it. Because not everyone, like for some people, like actually, vanilla sex is like, that's good, it's the epitome. And then some of us need a little bit more extra, just because of like how we are tuned to or how we experience pleasure. So I understand, but I'm also actually, just saying to an
whatever you're saying, it makes sense. It makes sense a lot, but when you put it like that, yes. But also, I don't like giving guys pressure. So for the first time, I just want to see how you want to take it, and I'll play along. And if it's you happen to just do what I like, then that's a plus.
That's even, yeah.
If not, the next time we sit down and have a conversation. I'll try and make you do this and see how you react to it. If you like it, I'll take you to the next one, and that's how it goes. There's always a way, and if you don't like it and you have your own way, I'll try and learn your way, so that I can also get off. But if it doesn't work, there's no sex, honey. I mean, I have to come at least. That's why we're doing this in the first place.
That's a good standard. It's like we're doing this so I can come.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
not
the
just
ultimate
like
goal.
for vibes.
Yeah, because we can get vibes everywhere. But I chose you to enter this holy palace. Come on. Yeah.
So he came back after years.
Oh yeah.
And so is this the first time now after all of these years that you had sex?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
And
you know,
surprisingly,
tell me
it
the
was
story.
good. It was good.
So what happens?
It's just like he went how do I start this? From the last time we saw each other, it was really bad. We left it off super bad. And for our listeners, if you want to catch up on that, it's on our first episode.
Yeah.
Yes. So so he came back. Now he's all grown up, no grudges, no nothing. We're buddies, we're hanging out and everything. He's like, so you want to hook up? I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? Because initially I loved this person, you know.
Of course.
So we go. It's just like he's doing everything, and I mean everything that I've just mentioned. Like he's just there, being kind, being gentle. This one went out of his way and got some like ice cubes, and you know what to do with the ice cubes.
Yeah.
So I was like, that was this experience I've never known that I could actually go through, and the sensations was just amazing.
Yeah.
He was turning me on in ways that I didn't even know.
Put some ice cubes in your mouth and eat her out.
Exactly. I was about to. Yeah. I was like,
the
how do I say this out loud?
thing.
It's just confusing because I'm flaming hot down there, you're flaming cold.
Yeah.
And together it's just amazing. That's just waterfalls.
Preach.
You know, fireworks and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he did that, and that was actually really dope. Yeah. But it was just a one-timer, and that was it. I was like, I came here to see if it still works. It still works. Yalla. Bye-bye. Oh my God.
Do you think that was closure?
That was
did you
closure
both
for
get
me.
you both of you did like your amazing, like the best sex from before,
from
you were
way
dating,
back,
you know, to now, and it was like this was good, and like this is a type of closure that we're doing right now.
Yeah, but for him, he came back with other agendas, like maybe try and find a relationship or an apology. It's just the guilt killing him.
Yeah.
But for me, it was just a closure I needed.
Yeah.
I was like, I've been crying over this dick for years. Let me see. And I was like, it's really amazing, but thank God, no. we dodged one. It's okay.
He dodged a bullet.
Yeah.
I'm glad he came back with like some new skills and all. You know, it'd have been very disappointing if it was like the same.
Yeah.
You know, as last time. You should grow.
Yeah.
You should like, you know, each year that you have sex, you should like gain something.
Yeah, and to men out there, if you have a pending closure to close, go back. Go back and close that shit. Improve. You still got it. You got it better now.
Lay some good day.
I'm sure women will appreciate out there. Just go and give them the closure they need.
Okay, Raz is speaking for herself, by the way. I'm sure there's like someone listening who's just like, I'm not gonna forgive him just because the sex was good.
No. It's all out of jokes, man.
No, I'm joking. Yeah. So yes, that brings me into my third experience of like amazing sex. So this was a person that I randomly met at Khalifi New Year's. Not this one.
2019.
2019. Let's say 2019. And I don't know, we're just like kind of like casually talking, blah 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 blah. But they were also here like, you know, talking a big game. There's nothing I hate more than like people who are like, oh, you know, I'm so good in bed and I do this.
Oh, they're gassing themselves up.
Yeah. I'm like, I didn't ask you to like do me personally. I'll gas myself up because I'm good.
That's a red flag right there. That's a straight up red flag.
Yeah. Honey. So they were here just like, you know, oh, you know, blah 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 blah, you know, all of those things, whatever. And I was just like, I bet, you know, like, you know, we'll see what go on. Because you're also mentioning things that I'm into, that I like, you know. So I'm trying to see if you're capping or not. And so I didn't fuck them at Khalifi New Year's, but I did fuck them like, you know, after we'd both come back to like Nairobi and stuff, because my one thing that I'm always very hung up about is that like, if I'm gonna sleep with you, I would like you to buy me dinner first. Like, let's go for dinner. Let's have like some wine, because I'm also trying to figure out if I like you as a person. before I just sleep with you. Like, I want to know if, like, can I have a conversation with you? If I can't have a conversation with you, I can't sleep with you.
Yeah.
And, you know, there might be someone out there who is amazing in bed, but they're probably very boring. So I would never get to experience it because they were so boring that I was just like, I don't know if I'm like, yeah. So anyways, like this person, what was their thing? They did this thing. It's like Chinese philosophy thing of like, that had to do with like coming. What is it called? Why can't I remember? It was very interesting. Like they did this practice. It was like a type of practice, and it was a bit traditionalist of like just being very aware of like your chi, like your energy, and like how you use that energy, but also with regards to like sex, where like they wouldn't like masturbate just like that, or you know. And, you know, they would tell me these things, and I'm like, oh, whatever. You know, it just, like, sounds crazy. I'm just like, cool. Like, good for you. I'm sure that will make a difference. But, like, to them, it was just, like, you know, it was a very, like, it was a thing that they did. And when we would have sex, like, I would very much, I don't know if I experienced it, but I think maybe to an extent it played a role. So, like, we would have sex, like, for a day. Like, we would literally, like, a whole day where we would just be like having sex, but they were very in tuned to sort of the things that turn me on. So I remember the apartment block, so like right next to them was like a construction, and at times they would, you know, they would put a seat in their room that faced the construction site. So if there was like a random construction worker who was to like, I guess, look that way, they would see me.
Nice.
And they would see the fact that I was like completely naked. And, you know, they would use like a tie to kind of choke me as well. Which was, I was like, wow, it's a great tool for choking. Like, I'm a big I understand why ties goes on next. Yeah. So they would put like, they'd place the chair in a certain position where like if someone was to look, they would be able to see me there. And yeah, like they were one of like the first people who ever made me squirt. And they weren't even inside me. Like literally just from like their mental, like they just understood like the mental stimulation really well. Because that to me is very big, is my mental stimulation more than the physical one. They understood that so well that when they did make me squirt, and this is the first time I ever squirted, they were not even inside me. Like, it was purely from like the teasing that they were doing. It was so crazy. Like,
can you find me the name of that? Whatever. I know it's a Chinese type of Kama Sutra. Find it for me.
No, it's not even like a book or it was just something to do with being very aware of like your chi. Like it had to do something to do with your energy that I don't really remember. But I will remember and I'll tell you.
Okay.
But I was just like, wow, like the first time I'm squirting, like this person isn't even inside me. It's literally just from like their mental stimulation of me, because a lot of it was them like edging me, and I actually just it was like they did a lot of like edging where like they would just be like, no, you can't come now, or like they would just tease. So that's the thing, they were like teasing me like with, you know, being inside, and that's when I squirted. So when we went inside, it was just like the teasing of it. But this had also been after hours. So I also know for myself that I'm very much someone who needs to be like stimulated for like a few hours, and then
hours. We're talking hours.
Yeah,
girl.
I'm very much
so
like
to you young men out there, brace yourselves. Some of us like it for hours.
Energizer bunny. Okay, so so we've established so far. So you like massages, you like to be spanked, choking.
Oh yes, please.
Yeah.
Pull my hair.
Pull your hair. Yeah.
Like play with that hair. There's a reason why it's there. Come on.
And I'm very much like an edging, because I think I also mentioned edging in the first one.
I've never tried that before.
Being called good girl. Yeah, like if you just tell me like you
now I have a mission.
Yes, edging. It's actually woof. It's woof. Okay, so now you have to give your next one. We're doing like top 4. 404, best 404.
Okay. I feel like all my sexual experiences are just like the same. I just like the same basic thing that I've mentioned, and it's just like most of the times you don't get people to do that. And if I get all of them at once, oh my God, take me to heaven right now. You know, like you remember when we talked about I have like 3 types of coming?
Yeah.
You remember? So to our listeners, you can still again refer to episode 1, but I'll give it to you briefly.
Yeah.
I can manage to come in 3 ways, which I just discovered like less than a few years ago, the third one, less than a year ago. So if I can get a guy to make me come, to make me squirt, and to give me the shakes, like I would like to call them, it's just, it's given. That's just, you can't top that at all. It's just that. And most of the times you don't get that. Maybe you get 1 or 2, or maybe none at all. So I would say just 2-3 people coming to that category of the best sex. Yeah. There's nothing else, literally.
Okay.
I'm trying to think so hard, but I'm like so blank right now. I'm like, wait. Oh, I've had sex on the plane, but that one was good in the sense that
I've always wondered how that works. Okay, tell me, because like when you're entering the toilet, I feel like it's so visible. So I've always wondered
I wasn't doing
works.
it in that toilet, in the public toilet. So I was having sex with the pilot.
Okay, you have to tell us this story. What do you mean?
Okay, here's the thing. Oh my God, and I know he's listening right now, but here's the thing.
There's the Mile High Club, and then there's sex with the pilot on the plane.
We were like on like, so you know how the plane is just on stand, it's just moving. It's
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
We're not trying to put anybody
the standards here. Where? Oh, people be out here like, oh, Mile High Club.
That was one experience that was scary and
you actually,
sexy at the same time.
You actually need to talk about it, please.
Oh my God.
Please.
So here's the thing. I was seeing a guy for like 3 years. He's a pilot, one of the biggest airlines. I can't even mention it. And
please don't.
Oh,
We're not trying to
no,
get people fired.
No.
Yeah. Like, do not.
So now what we did is we just boarded the plane. We're just going to somewhere. It wasn't far. It was just like 5 hours.
Yeah.
And when the plane is just like, when they're taking their breaks and whatnot, he texts me, just come. And then I go to where the flight attendants are.
He said,
and one of the
figuratively and literally.
Yeah. Not texted me. Oh my God.
Not the comfort.
Wow, how do I say this? Okay, not texting, but we had a deal. Like once you see
I was
the
referring
ladies,
to like the please come. I'm just like literally
and figure. Okay, got you. I got lost a bit.
No worries,
so I went to the flight attendant section. As they're serving the food and whatnot. One of the ladies is actually both our friends, and like, we go out with her and everything. So she's like, she closed the curtain. She's like, you just go in there. I'll just pass this tray down here, nobody's coming, just yalla. So we went there, we had a quickie in their bathroom. It was really fun, it was really quick. I didn't come, but the thought of being 1,000 feet on the sky and having sex, and probably you could die because this is a pilot, it was enticing. It was really nice.
Yeah, I can imagine. I'm just like, where?
As long as I still didn't come, but that was like one of my biggest.
But sometimes also as women, like, we don't necessarily come, but it's still enjoyable.
It's still fun and enjoyable. That's the thing. And that was like one of my biggest bucket lists.
Yeah.
Like I really wanted to. I'm like,
but you took it another notch. You said, yes, I want to have sex on the plane, but with the pilot.
No, the good thing is he wasn't just a random one. So we had this plan, and I've been begging for it for like a whole year. He's like, you know what? I might as well just shut you up. Let's go. We're going? Okay, let's go. We did it. And then we finished off after we landed. It was really nice.
I love that. Yeah. That's amazing. So I'm gonna give one more and then we can end the show.
Amazing.
So my other one was with this person who would it's so funny because I tweeted about it last. I didn't say the name, but I just tweeted about it. And I remember like the tweet went viral. And they were like in a group chat with some people, and someone, you know, took a screenshot of the tweet. And they were like, so my Twitter handle isn't my name. But so this person took like a screenshot of the tweet. He was in a group chat with like these women and stuff. And so one of them posted it in the group chat, and they're like, fuck, this sounds so hot. I wish like someone would do this to me. And I think they read it, and like, they talked to them. And then they kind of we were having a conversation, and they were like, oh, it's so weird. Like, this thing that we do came up in one of my group chats because someone like screenshotted a tweet that talked about it, and I was like, no fucking way.
He didn't know it was you.
No, he didn't know it was me because I also didn't say any names, and my Twitter handle is not my name.
Okay.
But it was just really funny that like it was a tweet about like him and I and like the sex that we have, and it just ended up in a group chat that he was in, and he told me that he read it, and he was like, it's like, this sounds like something that I do. And literally it was like actually about him because it went viral. So there's this guy that I was having sex with, and so there was a lot of like substances involved. Not a lot like that, but like there were substances. I'm not gonna say what they are.
Yeah, you don't have to. Yeah. No way, don't say.
You can't arrest me. I'm joking. But yeah, there were substances involved where like they would do a line, like literally like off like my tits. And it would be like, in between a session, and then they would just like cut a line and like do it off my tits. Who knows what a line is? I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
And then like, as they would be inside me, they would literally like be pouring champagne. Like we drink champagne quite a bit. So they just like be pouring champagne like down my throat. So like they're inside me and they're literally like pouring champagne down my throat. And oh my God, it's so fucking hot. Like I don't know how to explain it, but like
I can picture it. Oh
yeah. So it would just be like, yeah, I think that's why that tweet went viral. So people were like, I want this to happen to me. So I would like, they'd literally like be like inside me, and then would like, cut a line like off my tit, and then would just like be pouring champagne down my throat. And it was just, yeah.
God damn.
It was good.
I can already imagine it. Now you're giving me something to go do. I live for this. I live for new experiences and new stuff, and that was just really sexy. And I'm sure there's a reason why it went viral. I can assure you so many people tried it already.
It was so, it would just be like, they're inside me and they're stroking away, but they're also like pouring champagne down my throat. And it would be so hot.
Because of the champagne one, what if you're choking? You're like, like...
Yeah,
because you're lying down. Basically, you can't even like hold it all in. But maybe that's the whole point.
Yeah. No, it was so hot because they'd like take a swig and then they'd like pour it down my throat as well.
Nice.
And this would just be like right after like they've taken a line off my tits, and I'd just be like, oh,
God damn, you go, girl.
Yeah. So they would either like cut it on like both or just one. And yeah, it was really hot. So definitely, yeah. So there was, yeah. Do I have a fifth one? No, but we have to.
We have to go.
We have to go. But yeah, I think they've been diverse enough. Like one of them was like my number one was like the massage thing. That was like one person that I've had sex with who like the massage thing was a big factor of it, and how they did it was just very like hot. Like it was just done really well in the sense where like I'm like, I'll give you this. These are your flowers. Like that massage element of like our sex sessions was amazing. The second one is just like, these are not like obviously in terms of order. The second one just purely just being like, wow, I'm in love. And like sex and love is just very different and stuff. But also like the whole like very them tapping into the whole like good girl and like, you know, like daddy aspect of it, which was really
Talk me
dope.
through it.
Yeah.
So guys, talk girls through it.
Yeah, talk me through. And if someone is like, I like being called this, and that's your fetish, like do that. Like just unless it's weird, then. But also, who knows what's weird? You decide for your own.
Yeah, there's so many things that pass for weird, and it's so normal for other people. So whatever works for you. Yeah.
The third one was, you know, the whole like chi energy.
Oh,
like,
you need to find us that name. Next episode, we need to tell our listeners, we need to educate them a little bit. I'm also one of your students, so here we are.
And the whole like, you know, putting me in view of possibly like a bunch of construction workers, which was really hard. The whole edging and very prolonged like sexual play. And the fourth one, just like the nature of how the substances interacted with that whole situation. So
that's amazing. I don't have specific ones like you, but next time I'm going to go observe. I'm like, okay, this is the things I should take note of. I mean, I've done shots of my body. Yeah, which is just so I never pay attention to such stuff.
Yeah. No. But mine for me, because I really like, I'm very aware of like, why was this sexual experience good? And there's usually like a certain something that is very specific about why this one is like, I'm enjoying it. So I think it's also good that when you're having sex is to be like, or with different partners or different things, for you to be like, this was really good, and it was really good because of this, because you're also understanding yourself better and what you like, you know, and you can also express that better for if you have any other future partners, you know. So I think it's good to pay attention. So you're just like,
well, guys, there it is. There it goes. Whatever works for you works for you.
Yeah,
every experience is unique for yourself, and what is our experience is not your experience. So be out there, explore, and see what works for you.
Yeah, get it.
Get your juices running.
But anyways, that's us for Lights Down Low. Thank you so much for tuning in, and wishing you all a lovely rest of your week. These episodes can, of course, be found on Spotify or SoundCloud. So, check us out.
We should find a way of cutting it out.
Oh, yeah, that's not awkward. Yeah.